You open it up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Did I get a bad one? And then you apply it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really, really cool. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It is Wear Test Tuesday, and you know what that means. We're going to be trying out a brand new foundation, and as you can see, I'm already wearing my foundation because I'm filming my intro later in the day because I didn't have time to film it this morning, so I'm already wearing the foundation that we are wear testing today, but I did still get to film the application. I just didn't get to film like all the product details and everything like that right at the beginning of the day today. So I'm going to give you guys the details now, and I'm going to insert some shots of me applying it as well as some other things like anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm just going to give you guys the information on this product. So this is the Holika or Holika. I don't know how to pronounce it, but my friend Kirsten, and she is also subscribed to my channel, obviously, she requested that I do a review on the Holika foundation, and so now she didn't say which one she wanted, so I assumed it was this one because this is the first one that popped up whenever I googled Holika foundations, and it's the Aqua Petit jelly. The stuff has a very, very interesting texture, but it also has an SPF of 20, which is awesome, and on the box it says Jelly BB makes moist and bouncy jelly skin. Has jelly texture that helps spread evenly and creates fully hydrated and shiny skin. Perfect for covering up facial blemishes. Mint water hydrates facial skin, and marine jelly complex makes soft and bouncy skin. Take an appropriate amount with spatula and evenly spread onto facial skin by patting gently with its puff enclosed inside. Do not eat. This is a water-based foundation. I just think that the description is so funny because obviously it's in, I don't know if it's in Japanese. I think it's in Japanese or Korean. So obviously the description isn't perfect, but as you can see here, it has a very, very interesting texture. Like you open it up and you're like, wow, it looks really, really separated and kind of gross. And then you shake it up and shake it up and shake it up. You're like, okay, maybe it's separated a little bit. And then you're like, okay, that kind of looks better, but not really. And then you open it up and you're looking at it and you're like, wow, this looks like it's all chunky and gross and expired. But then you smell it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing, the most fresh scent I've ever smelled in my life. I like freaking love the way it smells. I wish this was in a perfume or something. Yeah, you open it up and you're like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting. Did I get a bad one? And then you apply it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is really, really cool. As you can see here, I did try to apply it with this sponge and I ended up reaching for my beauty blender. I did find that I preferred my beauty blender, but really the main reason was that I just don't like the shape of this sponge. I just feel like it's just awkward. I'm just not used to it. I mean, I'm sure it would probably be fine, but I'm just really not used to the shape of this. However, this retailed for like a little bit over $11, more like $12 on Amazon. I just got it shipped to my house. I couldn't find anywhere else that carried it in store, so I had to order it on Amazon. However, for $11, like the packaging is really nice. It's like this nice glass packaging. Like it feels really sturdy, and I was surprised. Like the packaging is cute and sturdy. It came with a sponge and everything for only $11. So, and I really, really like the way that it applied. I feel like at first it's kind of like the Lancome Skin Feels Good and the YSL All-in-One Glow Tinted Moisturizer. Those two, the pigments and the water in the foundation kind of separate, and so as you're buffing it into the skin, you have to kind of buff the water and the pigment back together as you're buffing it into your skin. And so that's exactly how I felt it was with this foundation as well. So I actually did sweeping motions with my sponge rather than dabbing motions at first. So I did the sweeping motions first, and then I started doing dabbing motions to kind of give it a nice smoother texture and better coverage, but doing those buffing motions first to kind of really mix everything together and get it appropriately buffed into the skin, I guess. Otherwise, it just didn't feel like it mixed as well, and yeah, anyways, I feel like it works better. I haven't tried it with a brush, but I did really like it with my beauty blender, and so yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. I guess I'll see you guys in my second check-in. So I really really like this foundation. I feel like it looks very, very skin-like, especially in like the center of my face here where I tend to get the most texture. The only place that I'm not the biggest fan of it is going to be right in here, like right on my forehead. It seems to get pretty textured, but I don't know if that's just because my glasses have been rubbing up against it or what the deal is there, or maybe I know that I didn't powder this area, so maybe I need to powder this area because I did powder my nose and my cheeks, so maybe it's just a foundation that needs to be powdered to really stay together. But like on my chin, it looks nice. I just love the way that it looks in the center of my face. Like it looks so smooth and perfect. And I love the way that it blended, and I feel like these breakouts on my cheek are driving me crazy. It layers up really, really easily. The coverage is gonna be more of a medium coverage. You're not gonna get a full coverage out of this one, but I really like it. So everything's going really well so far. Love the way that it feels on the skin. It doesn't feel like anything, and whenever you put it on, it feels like really refreshing and like hydrating. Even though it has like that really weird like chunky texture to it, it looks kind of gross, like it's gone bad. It's a really good, it all blends, feels like it wears really well, and everything in between. So I freaking love it. So that's where we are right now. I'll do one more check-in at the end of the night. So I'm just gonna say that hands down, I really like this foundation and was very pleasantly surprised, especially with seeing the texture of it right off the bat. But definitely doesn't look perfect, especially now that I'm seeing it under like my beauty lights where you can see literally everything. I did do one weird thing where I blended it down my neck and it made like this weird line that was really hard to blend out. Like you can see where the foundation stopped. It's just really weird. Never had that happen before, but that's not a big deal. Right here on my chin, it has worn off quite a bit. However, I've been touching my chin a lot today because I have like, I can feel a pimple coming in under the skin, and I'm like, ugh, it like feels gross. Yeah, it has separated around like my nose area, and definitely is not anything that's gonna last through me wearing my glasses, but most things don't. I've definitely seen much worse whenever it comes to the way that it wears underneath my glasses. I don't like the way that it looks around my nose area, and I'm not a big fan of how it looks just right in here, but I feel like I should have set this with powder because everywhere that I set with powder looks super nice, well, other than my chin, but everywhere that I didn't set with powder, like this area, I'm not a big fan of. So I do think it's something that probably needs to be set with powder. I mean, it's $11, so you can't really be that hard on it. I just would like to say that I really love the way that this foundation feels on my skin. Like it feels so refreshing whenever you apply it. It just feels like, oh, like a drink of water for your skin. And I guess it has mint water in it. From reading the back of the box, I didn't know that it had mint water in it right off the bat, and it definitely feels like super refreshing and super nice and hydrating. It's not the most hydrating foundation I've ever used, so if you're like somebody who's looking for something that's going to give you like super like deep hydration, it's definitely not going to do that, but it is good for like a refreshing kind of light hydration. You know what I'm saying? It almost feels like I know it says BB, but it feels like, since it's so watery, it feels like it would be good for dry and oily skin. Since it is a little bit hydrating, and since it's water-based, it would be good for oily skin, you know what I'm saying? Like, the hydration part of it is great for the dry skin, and then like the fact that it's water-based and a little bit hydrating is good for oily skin, I feel. Because oily skin obviously produces a lot of oil, but sometimes it can still lack water, so the fact that it's water-based and hydrating, that's why I feel like it would be good for oily skin as well. So I don't know, I really like it. I think it's totally worth the $11. We are 12 hours into our day and it is not looking perfect, but I've definitely had worse. This is just, I'm really enjoying it, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a good like everyday kind of BB cream, CC cream kind of thing. Has an SPF of 20 and everything in between. I think it's a good quality foundation and definitely worth the $11. So the only major downfall is that I can't find any place that carries it in store, and that could just be like my area. I'm in the Dallas area, I don't know, but I couldn't find anywhere that carried it in store that was at least convenient for me. So you might have to order it online. That would be really the only major downside in my opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have tried this foundation, and let me know what products you would like to see me put to the test next. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos here before you leave, and hit that subscribe button before you leave so that we can hit 400 subscribers, because we are not that far away, just need a few more, and then we can do another giveaway, yay, which are my favorite to do. So I will see you all in Friday's video. Bye! Alright, we got a little nutmeg here. Little nutmeg. Okay.